5 years into her role as the Associate Director of Admissions at BCS, Gingi Sheppard is often the first face students see when they visit our campus. Hailing from Nova Scotia, Gingi attended Acadia University where she studied recreation management and music. Her work in the admissions and recruitment arena has seen her plant roots in 5 provinces while traveling the globe. She currently lives across the river on the Bishop's University campus with her husband Dan and their 2 children.
Hey, do you want me to just reach in and grab? Oh, what's your go-to order at your favorite Lennoxville or Sherbrooke restaurant? I would have to say Jerry's Pizza, I think. I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to what's on the pizza, but yeah, Jerry's Pizza is special. Do you actually like the color purple? Yes, I do like the color purple, but the rivalry comes from my alma mater, from Acadia, and their colors are red and blue. But red and blue make purple, so it works out. Okay. What country is on your bucket list? This is a really tough one because my husband and I love to travel all the time with our kids. But in the near future, I think probably Greece, Japan, there's places we want to show our kids. But I would say Australia and doing a safari in Africa as a family would be something that we want to do. Number 2. Oh, geez, they were hard enough. What parts of your job are the most satisfying and the most challenging? The challenging part is the physical exhaustion of travel, and then in addition to that, being away from your family. But really lucky because the satisfying parts are so plentiful that it offsets it really easily. Like meeting people on the road, going through the process, and then seeing the students here and seeing how they thrive, and just knowing that when you met them that they'd be a good fit, and then they actually are and they shine is really awesome. What was my first job? I was a bit of an entrepreneur. We lived in cottage country. And so when families would come in for the summer and then leave at the end of the summer, they needed somebody. Most of them wanted someone to go in and clean their cottage and get it ready and like make the beds and all of that. I would get in touch with these families and tell them that I would do this. And so I had a really lucrative few summers. That's like not an exciting job, but yeah. All right. This is a tough one. Tell us about a mentor that touched your heart or changed the way you work. One time I worked for a woman named Kathy. She owned a campground and she hired me to help her out. And her thing was no limitations because you're a woman. And so she taught me how to do a lot of things that I think a lot of people at that time would have said, no, that's not a job for a teenage girl. So, she taught me how to drive a tractor and like just do things that needed to be done. So I think it's always about hard work and seeing obstacles as sort of just an obstacle, not a preventative thing. These are tough. What advice do you have for our incoming students? I think the first piece of advice that I would share with them is however you're feeling, there's other people feeling that way too. The other piece is take advantage of every opportunity you have here because there's lots of stuff and the year goes by so fast. Don't have any regrets that you didn't do everything that you could do. Who are my personal heroes? Well, right now I find this Greta Thunberg out of Sweden to be an amazing, amazing advocate for children. And I wouldn't consider myself necessarily to be an environmental advocate, but I do know that it's important. And I think just her as taking the stand that she is as a young person is amazing. So this one, I don't know, I'm just gonna need a minute to think about it. What are the best and worst pieces of advice you've ever received? I don't know who I received these bits from, but as a human being, I think never assume what's going on in someone else's life. I think as a professional, it's always work hard and never sort of set up barriers for yourself. And I think as a mother, someone told me once that I admired for always having a great relationship with their teenage kids, and mine are not teenagers yet, but as a mother, the advice was keep them talking. No matter what, keep them talking. And so I think there's 3 different kind of pieces of advice there that I try to keep in mind all the time. Okay, that's it. Look, I made a huge mess. That was the fun part.